What's happening? It's your boy Collar Pop. Here with a little pain where it ain't little seasoning with some reasoning. We appreciate y'all coming back up in here today. We're a little late. It's alright. Stuff come up. Don't keep it moving though. We just push right along. What's happening with your 18?
Man, I just woke up. Bear with me. Let's go.
We're gonna get a move. We're gonna get this energy up in here. Get these stories rolling. Get these conversations going. Everybody gonna wake up. Need to see some people up in that room today. Y'all know how y'all get it started up in there. But yeah, we got a lot going on actually. A lot going on. First I want to say again, as I said last week, all of the college graduates, high school graduates, everybody for the last 2 weeks, every time I jump on there, somebody graduating, man. So want to say congratulations to them. Shout out to our homeboy Julius, who got his bachelor's. Was it last weekend, I believe?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was last weekend. Congratulations, man. One of our heavier supporters, man. We appreciate it, and congratulations to you, man. We also saw your uncle got you that grill, and you said you didn't know what to do with it. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to roll up on him, man. We got to show you what to do with that grill, and it ain't gas, so we good with that. But yeah, I just wanted to say congratulations to all of, everybody graduating and all that stuff, man. It's a beautiful thing. We got to keep pushing that education, man. What else you got going on?
None.
Okay. It's weather changing. I feel your energy. I just be fighting it. Because now my grass be growing like crazy, so I have to be out there every week. And that sun ain't no joke. I like the heat, but the older I get, that thing be draining you now. Be straight draining you. But anyway, let's go on and jump into it. Y'all know what time it is. Back again from Florida, Ron Desantis has signed another bill that stopped. This bill, he already had one in place where you couldn't, the schools from kindergarten to 12th grade couldn't teach anything on gender or diversity. And now he has extended it to the colleges as well, the state colleges. So anytime you teach anything about gender or race, aka diversity, you could be fined or suspended or lose your job. It's just getting out of control. And what I also found out is he is now running for president. This is
I
where
told you that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I told you that. Good.
Sorry, I don't really be listening to, but but I tell you, man, you need to do your homework, man. Don't just go up there and just be voting for any and everybody. Do your homework. And I mean, we still a year or 2 years out, but still, man, start doing your homework now as these candidates starting to get their energy and get their win up, to start doing their campaigns for their parties to run for the president. So do your homework on that, man. But yeah, DeSantis doing this thing.
Shout out to my homeboy Kwame. He turned 57 this week. Shout out to him.
57.
Yeah.
And it's today.
Oh, it's today?
It's today.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out.
Shout out to the homie Kwame.
Shout out. Grind that hard, Kwame. What's happening? Moving along. Jim Brown passed away yesterday.
Yeah, I seen that.
I didn't see a lot on it. I saw it here and there. I didn't see a lot of people post about it as much as most people post about celebrities and athletes and things of that nature. And my question is with that, first off, rest in peace to Jim Brown. He was an interesting guy.
Oh, okay.
And that's the question I was going to go with. Well, part of the topic is that when we have people that do great in one area but are terrible in other areas, do we celebrate these people? And we say that because Jim Brown fits into this category we're talking about here.
Jim Brown did he did more good than bad. So let's just celebrate the effort that he put in. And let's just leave that right there. I don't want to get on him and he ain't here.
Right.
So out of respect, I just say let's just celebrate, the life and time of Jim Brown. And let's just leave that like that. I don't want to.
Now, how do you feel about people that bring out the truth? Because I don't know if people of our generation know, and I'm not going to talk about it, but I don't know if people of our generation kind of know some of the things that he was doing, good and bad, for the NFL and the retired players, the push that he did to get them a lot of money from the NFL, and then his off the field life. When you hear people talk about these things about us, how do you feel? Like, do you think it's informative, or do you think it's to kind of put a little bitty low light on their name?
That depends, man. That's all. That depends on how you feel about what they do. You know what I'm saying? When Harry Belafonte died, you heard mixed reviews on that. From your own people. So that's somebody's own personal feeling. Like I said, man, I don't agree with everything Jim Brown did, but he did. He was part of the summit. In 1967. I think it was 67. Yeah, when they all players came about for the black player, for the black athlete.
Right.
So I like to look at Jim Brown as what he was when he was more younger and active than things he did later on.
I'm not gonna talk about it as much as I want to. I'm not, because it's politically charged as well. But
that's what I'm saying.
so I'm not gonna go there.
I mean, he was in a movie, The Crack House. I don't know if y'all ever seen that.
I never heard of that. He was in I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Nah, he was in The Crack House. That's a movie, man. It's a good movie though.
Trucker Jones, what was it? Trucker Jones or something like that. He was in a couple of black exploitation movies.
Turner?
Yeah, Trucker Turner or something like that. But rest in peace to Jim Brown, man. Also yesterday was Brother Malcolm X's birthday. Rest in peace to him as well. I love that a lot of the clips are coming up from when he would speak, a lot of his interviews, and it shows, to me when I look at him, it shows how white America does exactly what they need to do to protect their insecurities. When this man would speak, and he was very eloquent, very well spoken, and they would always, whenever he was interviewed, they tried to talk down to him, or they tried to make him seem like he was a evil person. And when he would break it down to them, they would just kind of sidestep it and overlook it.
Is that a color thing, or is that just a truth versus a truth versus another truth? Because the way you just described it, they did the same thing to Jesus, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to look at it like let's take us for instance. We might say some things on here that a lot of people don't want to hear. That don't mean it's wrong.
Right.
They just don't want to hear it. Mm-hmm. They don't want to believe it, whatever. Mm-hmm. And so they might paint us in a bad light, like the comments we make and the views we get. Mm-hmm. And in the comments, somebody might say, "Y'all, this, that, and the other, whatever." I don't mean we wrong. I just mean they don't want to hear it. So I mean, anything that's the truth, it's gonna have a negative spin on it from somebody that just don't want to believe it. So I don't know, man.
So you don't think it was just? Well, I know it wasn't just race, but at the time, especially back then, when he was making his circuits, especially when he would bring up Elijah Muhammad, because they already looked at the Muslims as a hate group.
The reason that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to say it's based on just the color of his skin, because it's some black people that didn't, and still to this day that don't like the nation and things of that sort. So I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just how you look at it, because you got some black people who say they're extremists. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it ain't that bad. Blah blah blah. I mean, So I mean that all comes down to how you look at it. Or what you believe. You
just reminded me of something. Remember that brother I told y'all about back in the day, couple months ago, that he was 64 years old and he told me he didn't believe in systemic racism. Just recently, he was having a conversation and he explained to me that Jordan Neely, the guy that was just killed on the New York subway, he said, I don't understand why they're giving charges to this other guy for defending himself. And I had to pull myself back. This is a black man, 64-year-old black man. I had to pull myself back and remind myself who I was talking to. And I had to say to myself, sometimes you just can't, it doesn't matter what you say and what they look like and what you think they should know. You can't give something to somebody that don't want it.
That's true.
And every time this guy talks to me, I just scratch my head. And he does it so willingly and just open and free with it. And I'm just like, I don't understand how he made it this far in life with these kind of theories.
He went along. That's how he made it this far. He went along.
He was a correction officer too. So that makes it even worse, man. Oh man. But moving along, man. But shout out, Malcolm X's birthday was May 19th, man. He a Taurus. Anyway.
No comment. No comment.
Don't be like that, brother. Don't be like that. Anyway, I don't even know if this is considered like news, but something that came up here in Georgia. Rick Ross is putting on his second annual car show.
Yeah.
For those of you that are not here in Atlanta, he moved and bought the house that Holyfield used to live in, and it sits on a pretty large corner of two major streets. It sits at the end of Old National and 138. And that intersection is very busy. So last year he put the show on, and it was a success for the people that went. For the people that live in that area, they hated it because they couldn't get around. It was so jammed up and jam packed. So, and the neighborhood is a higher middle class, I would say. Mm-hmm. So this year, the neighbors complained and they said they don't want him to do the show. And he said he's going to do the show anyway.
Absolutely.
And the county, now I'm not sure. They're saying the county is Fayette County, and other people are saying it's Fairmont. I don't know which one it is, but they even said, you can't put this show on. And he said he's going to do it. What's your thoughts on that?
Have the show. It's one day. Have the show. It brings car enthusiasts from all over the world. They get together. Nothing happened. That's the part that nobody want to talk about. Nothing happened. No police was called because any negativity, things like that. It's on his property. The only thing that happens is it took a while to actually get in. I live maybe 3-4 minutes away from Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? It's one day. You can be inconvenienced for one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, now the Buffalo thing he had going, that was a little something else. You know what I'm saying?
So after a while, neighbors get tired of the antics.
It's one day.
I don't know, man.
And what y'all want him to do? Cover up the house? Like, people drive that street every day, and you better not speed, because somebody's gonna hit the brakes because they're gonna gawk and look at the house, see if they can see them, see what they got going on outside. Like, it's one day, man. Relax.
That's hard to say, brother. I'm just saying people have their regular day-to-day routines. On the weekend, they running their errands, but now I'm
Man,
stuck in traffic.
You can't run them one day.
So,
One
so
day,
I got to stop. That's what happened with Freaknik. When Freaknik was downtown and they shut down
it's not
Piedmont and all of that
but he's
stuff.
not shutting down the street. Is I think they just need better ways to do the security thing, which I do understand that, just to get on the property.
Right, and they
you
do.
know what I'm saying? And that's it. But
and the way the street is set up, that would be hard to do.
Yeah, it's one day. Like if I'm telling you this though, if you get on Old National, 138 that day, you crazy because it's crazy.
Yeah,
I remember it took me a while to get home, man. But I'm not even a car person like that. But I'm happy for the car people that get to come together like that. And just had a fun, man.
Yeah. You
see how it is when you bring out the cocaine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't even smoke a cigar without somebody. Hey man, who got that outside, man? Who got that? Hey man, you wasn't even born when that.
Right.
Okay, you got all the facts. It takes people back to when they was kids, man.
Yeah.
It's a great event. It's one day, man. I'm gonna keep saying that, man. I don't even go.
I got you. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not into cars like that. But I like to see it, man. I get on YouTube and look at the little spots they show, man. There's some great looking cars out there, man. I ain't gonna lie.
And he was throwing money.
And I mean, he bought 6 cars.
Money. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Last year, and he said this year the prize is they put you in a different group of people when it come to cars. He could change some lives. Like,
and again, like you said, nothing happened. No violence, no incidents.
Yeah, man. Like let the people get out there and show off their cars, man.
Yeah. So he said he gonna do it anyway.
I'm with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with him. Throw your event, man.
All right.
Because when they want to have parties at their house, it ain't like he can be like, "Hey, you can't have no party because they're gonna be looking at my house." Come on,
they gonna stop by my house. Nah, y'all can't do it.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Them the same people that be bringing when they company come from out of town. Hey, man, y'all want to go see Rick Rouse' house?
Right.
Come on, man.
Pull up to the gate right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here, man. It's one day.
Yeah. Piggyback that. DJ Envy has something to say about it. Again, we talked about this last week. I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to say what I got to say. Again, I'm tired of these folks going at each other. Like, now Envy, he does a car show, and supposedly him and Rick Ross don't care for each other. And Rick Ross says something about Envy. Envy is throwing a car show in Memphis.
Yeah.
And the proceeds, he's working with the company, or the company that Young Dolph, the family of Young Dolph. And so supposedly Rick Ross said something about make sure them folks in Memphis get their money, make sure, if you're going to do the show down there, this and that. And both of them was just talking junk. So when I saw Envy's, and it was just personal. It got too personal. This is one time Charlamagne was like, hey, man, you ain't got to do all that. And Envy just kept going and kept going. I'm tired of seeing us going at each other's throats.
What up, B?
You know what I mean? Out in the open like that. And these rich folks, what y'all doing?
It builds for a one-day car show that they gonna have. They might have been on the phone before the cameras came on and did this for all
more
that.
wrestling.
You know what I'm saying? So, don't involve the man's family, whatever, the money and all that. If y'all want to have a car show together against each other, y'all do it. Like, y'all got 2 different kind of car shows. So that's what I don't even understand. But, sometimes things just go too far. Like talking about Eddie Murphy and came in the man bed.
Yeah, I was like,
that.
come on now.
And like Charlamagne was saying, was like, you wouldn't rent your house out to do a movie? And, Envy was like, not a house that I sleep in. But you got many houses like that. But that house it's a business move. It's a great business move.
Right.
Because before he moved in, it was nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And we was still calling it Vander's house.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, like Brian said, it's clickbait. They really both corny. Eventually, like I said, they gonna end up doing the show together. So, I mean.
Like a boxing promotion.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I'm just tired of seeing it. And everybody, like you said, clickbait. I get it. But I just like, dang, why every time I look up, one of us going at each other? and it be the rich folk. You know what I mean? The most popular people.
I mean, competition is competition.
I get it. I'm trying to get used to it. But, that's about all I got on the news for today. Where we gonna jump off at is where you left last time. Everybody was up in arms about this submission conversation. And you phrase, I don't know exactly how you phrase it, but you put it in the sense of you can't expect somebody to submit unless you're able to do it yourself. Can you expound on that a little bit, brother?
I mean, I think I kind of just said what I meant, my brother.
Well, you got to go a little deeper because some people don't know that the extent or even the levels.
It's just expectation, man. We all got expectations, you know, and of what we think our spouse or when we fucking or whatever should be like. But sometimes we complain about things that we don't even put out ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we expect the most out of somebody, but you don't even put out half of what you want. So when it comes down to submission, I think us as men, we have to understand that we got to give in that aspect too. We can't just, I need her to be like this, my helpmate. We like clickbait, like these keywords. We keyword speakers at times, but not keyword speakers with actions to match it. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, man, it's a thing of what are you willing to do to make this whole thing work? You know, that's where a lot of us suffer at. You know, and that's on both sides, but I can only speak for a man. And the men I've seen, you know what I'm saying? Like, we want a lot, man, but we don't give up a lot.
Yeah.
So, you know, that is a lot of our problems. You know, I ain't perfect, and I don't ever try to be. You know, I just think that we need to be soft in certain areas. You know what I'm saying? That we so hard in, and we don't get nowhere.
Right. Yeah, those are great points. You can't expect something from somebody that you aren't willing to give. And a lot of times I think a lot of people in general, we go into situations and relationships and we have in our head already the way you want it to play out and the way that you think the relationship should go. If that was the case, we would be able to make our mates. People come in the door with their own situations, their own experiences. The beauty of a relationship is being able to work towards something together and to learn each other's quirks, ins and outs, and be able to be cohesive with each other and to grow from that. That's, to me, is part of the beauty of getting to know somebody that can either compliment you, that can upgrade you, that can, whatever it is that you go into the situation with. And being submissive is definitely a part of that. It's a lot of things. I know for me, personally, I'm always about my own space. I'm very personal with my space. And so when my lady moved in, it was a lot of stuff I had to give up. I didn't have to, but she did so much to where I was willing to do it without her saying, well, can I do this and can I do that? And she would start out asking. I was like, no, do what you got to do to be comfortable. But you're not touching the man cave and you're not touching the studio. Okay. But outside of that, you got free range. And it works. But you got to be willing to be vulnerable. You got to be willing to give up something in order for the other person to feel like they can do the same for you. So that's my 2 cents on that.
All right.
Oh, Lord. Here come Brian. Submission is a dumb word. You rock with me, how I rock with you. Case closed. All right. Okay, moving on. It's something that came up I just saw the other day. Rihanna that says she's holding out on marriage because she wants to protect her investment. or her business, her brand, basically. How you feel about that?
I ain't mad at him.
Okay.
I don't know, $1 billion?
Billion. Yeah, billion.
I ain't mad at him. Make it make sense.
I agree.
Make it make sense.
I agree wholeheartedly. And go ahead.
I agree with that on the level of, hey, I might have $500, you might have $50. Hey, let me protect this $500.
Yeah, come on in.
Like, for real.
I'm gonna share it with you, but if
mean,
we don't
yeah,
work, you can't take it with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't mad at it.
Yeah, for sure.
I ain't mad at
For
it.
sure. Brian Thompson, Stedman, please. Stedman.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I mean, because he worth what, $20 million. I think I read.
Who?
Yeah,
ASAP?
yeah, but she worth $1 billion.
$1 billion. Yeah,
You know? Ain't won't be no what's the little white girl name? Adele. She got took to the cleaners.
Adele did?
Yeah.
When
She
got a divorce.
So I mean, I ain't mad at her.
Yeah. Yeah, I ain't mad at that either, man. Like, do your thing. And a follow-up question to that, do you think society pushes marriage as opposed to you just being happy with somebody? Because I don't think anybody asked for that piece of why they ain't married yet? But every time I look, they look like they having a good time, enjoying their lives, having babies, all that stuff. So do you think that?
I think marriage is beautiful, man. I ain't gonna front. I think as a guy that believes that if I love you, I should give you all of me.
Mm.
And I should want you to have everything of mine, including my name.
Mm.
Kwame, I disagree with you when you say marriage is all about money. I don't believe that. I believe people that get married, because especially on, I won't say our level, but it can't be about money because none of us got any. You know what I'm saying? I might be comfortable with my pocket, but yours might be lacking.
Mm.
So I got to find something else. You know what I'm saying? When you get to talking billions, you have to make it about, it's a business decision at that point because I got a lot of money and you might not. What do I have to give to you? So I don't know. I believe in marriage. I really do. I believe two people that want to live together, they should do it the right way.
Mm.
And I don't think shacking, because the funny part about it, you'll call somebody your wifey, but that ain't your wife.
Right.
So why play half the game? You know what I'm saying? If that's your wifey, make her your wife.
Mm. So let me ask you this: is that based on a legal aspect or religion aspect?
If I get hit by a car and you ain't on nothing, and I know everybody could say, yeah, we can arrange all that. Yup, you can.
Mm.
But if I got kids,
yeah,
you don't get nothing. Mm. And that's just based on the fact that what if I ain't got my business in order and got a will?
And I'm sure we've all seen it in our elders.
You know what I'm saying? Like, where there ain't no will. And
mm-hmm.
I done seen it where people together for 40 years, man. Mm-hmm. Something happen, a will. Lady get kicked out of the house. Like, what's some football player name? Steve McNair.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have his paperwork right. Mama lost everything.
Everything, yeah.
His mama lost everything.
So Kwame said it's about the money, based off of what you're saying now.
Nah, I'm not saying it's about the protection.
Mm-hmm.
Protect everybody.
Yeah, covering all of this.
Yeah, that's all. It's just about the protection. A man that wants to live with a woman for the rest of his life, but don't want to be married to her, I don't even understand you.
Mm.
I don't understand that. If that's your girlfriend, why you want to live with your girlfriend?
Right, but not give her everything that comes with it.
You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I mean, you can leave a marriage, that's cool. But if that's your girlfriend, you really can't tell that lady what to do. Mm. Like, in my opinion, I ain't your wife. You can't tell me what to do.
Right.
I love you to a certain extent. That's what it says to me.
Yeah.
That's what that says to me. I love you to a certain extent.
I agree. Yeah, that's where legacy comes in. How do you protect your legacy?
I mean, we kings and queens. I ain't never seen a king and queen that ain't been married.
Yeah.
We kingish and queenish. Is that what that is?
Don't be
Like I don't get
texting me. What's
right.
up, King?
You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like to me, I don't know.
How about this one? At what price point do you think a prenup should come into question? Like, I would say you personally, because of course this is going to be relative. At what point would you be at where you be like, hey, babe, I'm going to need you to sign this before we go on and go to these nuptials?
I ain't into that.
No?
Nah. Yo, man, I ain't into that. Money ain't don't move me like that. You know what I'm saying? Am I naive for feeling like that? Some people might say that.
Okay.
But I don't have the kind of money that a prenup would even cross my mind, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Let's say you hit the lottery for $3 million.
If she with me when I hit the lottery for $3 million, she gets some of the money.
Of course.
That's just what that is with me. I'm not. I mean, technically, you my girlfriend. I ain't got to give you. I ain't doing nobody like that. Man, that's karma. I believe in karma, man.
Yeah, if we rocking, we rocking.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
I don't know, man. That's for me. That's the love of money over people.
Yeah.
You know, but in their situation, when we met, man, she was damn near there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, should she? I believe you should come with what you should leave what you came with. I do believe that.
Yeah, yeah.
But whatever we build in the meantime, we should have to split that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You might not, you know.
I agree. Him did it. Said marriage is about growth in the beginning. My wife allowed me to grow as a man, which now she can be the woman she needs to be to help grow the family.
See?
Great point. Great point. And Brian said another good thing. Money would never run my relationship.
I agree.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
Definitely shouldn't. Definitely should. All right. We're gonna move on a little bit more. I threw this one up in the group last week, and a lot of people, it was funny, actually, but then some people started opening up. How did you handle your last breakup? And when I asked it, it was more of I wanted to see how many of us would hold ourselves accountable. Because some people were like, oh, I was good, I'm out of there, whatever. If you was in a real relationship, man, we go through hurt. There's a phase you go through where you got to just sit down for a minute. And some people don't know how to do that. And I just wanted to gauge kind of how many people would just kind of say what was happening. Some of the stuff I was surprised. Some people said they still dealing with it. And they still with the person. so
it's my girlfriend. She just don't know it.
Right. Said he rolling up, waiting till she. How did you deal with your last?
We ended up getting divorced. Then I had to pick up life from that point on and continue on. It wasn't. We was, and my mind was different because we were separating, like together. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't somebody's trying to stay, somebody's trying to leave. Like we both was like, yo, this shit a wrap. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all both working on the exit point.
Yeah, we were just like, yo, it's over with. Let's not even go through all the nonsense. It's over. So I mean, I don't know.
Mine was I had to take some time off because I think at the time we were going back and forth. And the breakup was already in place emotionally, and we kept trying and this and that. Mm-hmm. And then the last time we broke up, it was just like, I ain't lose no sleep. I ain't lose my appetite. So emotionally, I was out of there. You know what I mean? But I also knew that I didn't want to, and this is something I used to do a lot. Usually when I would go through a breakup, I would just try to put people in my face to kind of take up the time. You know what I'm saying? The substitute for what I was missing out on or what I was hurting or lacking in. And through time, I figured out that's you're using the people that you're dealing with, you know, just to supplement whatever it is you're going through because you wasn't going to end up with that person. And I was using Band-Aids as opposed to allowing the sore to heal. Yeah. And so I had to learn, with that last situation, I said, I'm put my everything into it. And if it don't work, then I'm just going to sit down for a minute. And that's pretty much what I had to do. And it worked out for me.
Yeah, you finished?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever, and I hope we got some men here that's actually willing to be vocal. You ever went through a situation and your homeboy told you, oh, man up. And you hear that so much in life that it causes you at this point to you don't even know how to be okay with knowing how you
taking
feel.
A loss. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? In any situation where you mask it with anything you got to, just so you don't seem like you soft. I think that's the biggest problem with us as men today, because we are afraid to say we bothered, or let's use a word that none of us really want to hear. We hurt.
We hurt.
And I think that's where we are today, where we don't know how to communicate our feelings to even deal with the issue at hand.
To address them.
Or we don't feel comfortable saying it out loud. Like we might think it, you know what I'm saying, but we ain't gonna say it out loud. Like I know some men that they don't even listen to R&B music. They think it's too soft.
We know one.
You know what I'm saying? I think he does listen to R&B music. I ain't go. You know what I'm saying? He know too much. You know what I'm saying? To don't. But I got a homeboy who I really appreciate him, and I tell him from time to time, like, dog, I appreciate you. Blah blah. You know what he say to me? Dog, don't go mushy on me. Every time, and I do it on purpose sometimes, just to get the response. You know what I'm saying? But he's not comfortable with it. You can even tell, because like sometimes he'll ignore it. He won't say nothing. He'll ignore it. Shout out to my homeboy Bone. Shout out to my homeboy Bone. But I think it's just something that he just like he don't identify with. You know what I'm saying? But if you talk to him, he got all kind of shit to say. Yeah. But just when it come to things like that, he ain't comfortable with compliments. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. We got to work on that first.
Yeah. And that's a deep one, because we're always taught to don't cry. Stand up, get up, fix yourself.
Think I'm in relationships that could say, man, and not just, romantic relationships. If you just say, yo, my man, what you did, man, it hurt. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't say like, oh man, I was fucked up. Man, you hurt me, bro. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you out of line for that. Yeah. So I just think that's something we suffer from.
That's major. That's major. And
so stop telling your brothers, man, to man up, man, and ask them, hey man, what's really going on? Talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, now if he say some no, I'm just playing, but actually have real conversations with him. If you say that's your man's, have a real conversation with him. You tell when he off. You know what I'm saying? If you got to pull him to the side, he might not want to talk in front of everybody, but just be like, yo, man, what's going on with you, man? You seem a little off. He might open up to say something. He might need to. He just don't know how to bring it up. So, let's love each other a little more than we think we do, or that we say we do.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think a lot of times, and I know just friends that I have, they'll tell you the situation, and they'll stop. And I'm going to hear the situation, but the next thing I'm going to ask, how do you feel? What you finna do from now? How do you feel? And that's where the words kind of come short, unless they're in tune with, how they really are feeling, and they really open to just hearing somebody out. Right. And I think it's a hard thing to do, but it's necessary in order for you to even gauge who you're talking to. Because like you said, some people be like, man, suck that shit up. Let's get out here and go do this. Let's go to the strip club. Let's go.
See, that's all about them.
Right. Nah, we're not going to do that. Yeah. And luckily for me, my dad is one of them guys. I remember one time, he just came to my house and got me. He just came and picked me up. Yeah. You finna do this. Crespo, going through a bad break. I was going through a bad breakup. Crystal was like, man, you ain't finna sit here. Can't got me. We finna go hang out. We finna do this. And of course, he liked to talk, so I had to talk to him.
Right.
So it all came out. So I've learned to kind of be able to open up to the people that are close to me.
Brian make a good point. Your environment can, mold you into who you are. I'm definitely a product of that, but you have to also understand you might have to change the product. You know what I'm saying? You really might have to say, yo, that ain't working no more. Like what I was in my 20s, if I'm the same way in my 40s, man, I ain't grown at all.
Right.
We might not get rid of everything. Some things is important that we keep. But being vocal about your feelings is definitely one that you definitely have to work on, man.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy out here. Like brothers just they won't say how they feel, man. And that's the thing, they out here making some of the big mistakes of their life just because they didn't feel like they had nobody to talk to. But they had a whole group of people to talk to, and some of them might have been going through similar situations themselves.
Yeah.
But won't nobody open that door. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, I heard some stories, and I'm just like, dude, who did you talk to? I ain't talked to nobody. And even with that, man, go see a therapist or something. And folks don't want to hear that either. They don't even want to hear that. And I know for me, it was eye-opening. Mm-hmm. And it helped me out, honestly, because I was down bad. But
look at John Morant. John Morant just needs somebody. He needs somebody to talk to him, and it has to be somebody, for one, who has nothing to gain from him.
Yep.
It's hard to for your friend who you taking him around the world with you to actually risk it and say, yo man, you need to chill.
Right.
Next thing you know, he might get rid of you, and you might not be ready to go back into your regular life because of that. But if you're a real friend, you would take the shot and just see what happened.
We actually, it's a guy work with us. Actually, his cousin.
Brian talking about a good slapping.
His cousin had was playing for the Lakers. I don't know if y'all remember. His name was Crittenton, and he worked with us.
Talking about Shaq.
No, well, that was his cousin, but the closest cousin actually left and was with him while he was out in LA. Moved out there, and all of that, and he got into that trouble with the gun stuff. Even before that happened, he would, because I'm still cool with him. He would tell us like, oh, man, he doing too much out here, man. I'm finna have to come back home. Like before he even got out here and was shooting, he was just talking about, and he was like, man, I keep telling him to settle down and this and that. And he was just, once some folks get that money in their hand, they feel a little power, and nothing you can do. And he was there, and he told him like, man, I'm gonna have to go and get up out of here. You gonna stay out here if you need to, but I gotta go because you on some other stuff.
I mean, you gotta realize, especially if you got a family, man, you got a lot to lose.
Yeah, so
freedom is expensive, man.
Very, very. So, man, some people just need to toughen up.
There you go.
Well,
talking about people need to toughen up.
Yeah, you gotta toughen up, man. And when I say that, man, you got to be true to yourself and be able to know when you need to sit your ass down somewhere.
That's real.
Because people are always thinking being tough is, I can go out here, I can do this, I can do that. Nah, being tough is knowing when you ain't right and go sit down somewhere. Okay, I know he ain't on that BS. He got his stuff together. People gonna respect that more than somebody that's just jumping and everything. Everybody got that one homeboy want to fight every single time. Mm-hmm. At some point, you can be like, "Hey, bro, what's wrong with you?
Go on and fight, bro.
What's wrong with you, man? Settle down.
Go on and fight, bro. you gonna learn one way or the other."
Oh man, goodness gracious. Another question we had that I was interested in. I asked about, was there ever a decision in your life that you made that went against what your parents wanted you to do, your parents or your guardians wanted you to do? And I'm going to bring this up. It was one young lady, I think her name is Nikki. I don't want to.
You got to mention her name. Just mention this.
I'm just, not even the whole thing, because she's in the group.
I understand.
Yeah. So, but she talked about how her mom didn't support her going to nursing school and a lot of things. And I told her I appreciate her just saying that her mother wasn't there for her. And I think we touched on it and we were joking, but society and people in general always want to paint women in this great light, or mothers in these great lights. And sometimes we have to deal with the reality of that. And she was a product of dealing with the reality of my mom wasn't right for me. And she was able to step away from that. And she said she went to nursing school. Her mom didn't want to do that. She's married and happy. And she was like, that was the one thing that made her look at her mother-daughter relationship to where I have to look out for myself. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in, am I supposed to do everything my parents tell me to do as opposed to doing what's best for me?
I don't know the situation. I don't know if me disagreeing with my mother or having a disagreement with my mother on one thing could shape how I feel about my mother. Or somebody that I look up to as an elder or something. It's got to be deeper than that. Like, one thing I don't think can change the relationship with me and my mother.
Right, not one thing.
That's what I'm saying.
And it wasn't more so did it change. It was more so like, what was the decision? That was the point of it. But when she opened up like that, that's when I was like, well, you know, how did that affect y'all relationship? And she was pretty candid with how it affected their relationship. But I was just really asking to see like what those decisions were. And most people, it was like going to the service or going to college or something like that. And most of the people, it was like half and half. Some people was like they regretted not listening to their parents, and
Absolutely.
Others was
in
like,
some ways, yeah.
Yeah. Others was like, nah, I did pretty good. I made the right decision.
Right. Brian said your parents' plan don't have to be your plan. I absolutely agree with that.
Exactly.
But don't let your parents' plan go without thinking.
Yeah.
You know, they like we always tell our kids, I've been here already.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you going through, I'm going through. Some things they gonna know you right, but they want to try it anyway. Sometimes you gotta respect it.
I even look at that a little further, and I look at it because I don't have no kids, but I look at how different the generations that are now under us, just on how they make money, on how they don't want to work, a lot of them.
They don't want to work for nobody. I'm not gonna say they don't want to work for nobody. I don't think kids of the day or young adults want blue collar jobs. I think between the technology, everything that's going on, they see like I don't have to get out there and get dirty to make money. Versus when we were coming up, it was still looked at it was not a problem for you to go out there and get dirty to make money because hell, you either did that or you didn't. A lot of jobs you didn't even if you didn't go to college, you wasn't even qualified to get. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna say they don't want to work. They just don't want to do what we think it's okay to do. Like they look at what we do, like yo, y'all do this for how long? I'm not doing this. And to be honest with you, in some ways, I wish I would have had that same attitude back then. Like I'm gonna do this for a minute, but I gotta get up out of here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they just different, man. The times is different. They got more access to things than we did.
Of course.
So I'm gonna say they just don't want to do the blue collar stuff. I ain't mad at them for that. I don't want to do it no more.
Yeah, I give you the blue collar, but I think it goes across the board as well. I mean, you got to look at. I was just looking at the other day, and I blame this on the U.S. like I do everything else, which is true. They said the average 12th grader now graduates reading at a 7th grade level. The U.S. places out of, I guess, it was like, the rankings are pretty low as far as education go. But we're one of the richest nations in the world. So that says that in today's society, it's more about just get your money as opposed to learning. They don't teach cursive. They don't even have, they got digital clocks. They don't.
Think about it though. What you need cursive for? Try signing your name. Where else is it used?
At some point, if power goes out, Let's say we have a massive power outage.
You need cursive to survive in a power outage.
I'm
I'm just saying, like it's you don't after what grade? What jail? After high school, you don't use cursive no more. What are you writing in cursive? Because if you go to college, everything is typed up or it's typed up. I'm not how old I am, but it's on the computer. You got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Proper format. So what are we using? What are we using it for? Think about the kid that failed grammar school because he couldn't write in cursive. I mean, come on, man. Like, besides your name, what else are you using it for?
I'll give you that. But I'm looking at the things that they take out of school that home ec, that's gone. A lot of the music, that's gone. They're not teaching like life skills in school anymore. And so everything music? Yeah, that's important.
To who?
How would you like to have a life without music?
You mean music as in listening to it, or music as in actually playing the instrument?
Playing instruments.
What if I'm
like
not,
the option?
But what if I'm not into that?
You don't have to be in, but it is some people that want to be into it, and they don't have the avenue to even start into it because
think about the person who grade point average got dropped because they didn't really want to participate in music class. If they have no interest in it.
It's a lot of people.
But it's not even elective. That's a requirement though. That's crazy.
What's it?
Think about.
I think it started out as a requirement, and then the further you got, it was an elective.
It should have never been a requirement. That just gave a teacher a job, man. I mean, come on, dog.
No, man.
Think about
how important is music to you? Not saying that you had to.
And I played it, and you talk to a guy that played an instrument.
Right, me too. So that's why I was like.
But after I was done with the instrument,
you didn't care.
I didn't care.
I guess I'm more on the art side with that. I think if you take away the arts, you take away creativity, man.
Some of that stuff got to be because you want to do it.
It take away creativity, though.
Go to school for that, man. Go to somebody else. Hey,
so man. Now let's make some money. Create this whole nother school where you gotta learn more.
It created a job for a teacher. Home ec. They expect you to learn some of that stuff at home. We trying to get you to your future. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But if you put that, I'm just saying. Like you can't expect the school to teach your kid everything because the teacher probably can't even cook. So your kid come home got to cook this goddamn cake, and you looking like that's gonna be a nasty cake. You know what I'm saying? But mama, this is what they taught me at the school. But you don't know how to read. Your math is off.
Right.
But you only get 60 minutes, 45 minutes. I think it was 45 minutes. I was at school. 45 minutes an hour. I think to be in a class to learn something. But instead of me taking the classes that I need based on my grades, I might need an extra math class or things like that. Nah, I got to go to cooking with. Come on, man.
So you think that let's go through K through 12. You should only learn science, math, and English.
I look at the Asians and how they come up education wise. That's why they so far ahead of us.
Well, they go year round too.
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's the world year round.
Right.
So that's why they advanced because we too busy teaching cursive. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to reach across the table.
I'm just saying, bro. We too busy teaching cursive than things we might need to get further in life. When I was a senior dog, I had 4 classes. At one point, I had 6, but 4 of them was electives, and guess what they was? Gym. I had all because I did everything.
You did everything. Yeah. Mine was like that too, and half of them I wasn't going. I hope my dad ain't looking at me because I ain't go to half of them classes.
Like I took a computer class. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homeboy 12 because he was in there with me. And I had some gym classes and my electives. I had done all that. I had already been accepted to school before the first semester my senior year was over. I had already been accepted. I was done. I just had to I had to go to school for the days.
Right.
And with these days, you got to take classes. But other than that.
Yeah. I stand different on it. I think.
Last time you wrote a curse? I'm just asking you a
My
question.
jump be mixed. It be like regular in there, little cursor. It be mixed.
So you start with the regular, right? Then you just switch over there.
It'll be a little bit back and forth.
I
You
wish
know
you
what I'm
would
talking
have me say, what the fuck is that? They don't even use cursive nowhere no more, man.
You're right. You got me on that one. I was just using that as some of the things that they've taken out of the school where I think it allows the kids to kind of not learn life skills.
Think about the things we need to put in the schools. But we too busy. And I ain't just, with cursive, just we too busy with things that don't matter to a lot. Like, you should have the option, or they should find out even young, what's your path? What are you trying to do? Let's say my father got a garage, and it's planned for me to take over the garage. You know what I'm saying?
So
business, mechanics. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should be geared that way versus, nah, you gotta go take Spanish.
Well, they had
what?
Yeah, well, they had the mechanics. They had stuff
Votech
like that.
and all
Yeah,
that, but you still had to take Spanish.
Yeah,
for what?
Or French. We had French or Spanish that you could take.
Like, you see what I'm saying? So
2 years.
Imagine your GPA fall because you failed Spanish or French, and something that you ain't even using.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this: if they say that school is supposed to teach you how to learn, why is it that if I want you to learn, like, I agree with you, learning Spanish isn't necessarily a necessity. Now, when you go outside the country, everybody else knows a little bit of English. So let's play devil's advocate here. Right. So when we leave the country, we expect people to know a little bit of English, which they do. Right. And then when they're here, we looking at them like, you better learn English. Right. So is that a little bit of selfishness to just be like, well, I shouldn't have to learn another language?
I go to Africa. Who teaching that over here in the States? I'm just saying, bro. Who teaching that over here in the States? Melissa talking about she writing cursive. When?
When she signing them contracts.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And that ain't nothing but her signature, nigga. Everything else is typed up.
Yeah.
We got secretaries that can't type over here, bro. Without, you know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. Like, I'm just like, I don't know, man.
I agree with 18. Other countries focus on life themes. We focus on catching up. When you look at, let's say, Australia, who has schools focused on what the child is good at and not a freaking civil war.
See what I'm saying?
That's a great point.
Like, I'm just... Wait, and it's, I get the whole business aspect of it. It creates a job for somebody.
Yeah.
But, come on, man. Johnny ain't want to play football. Johnny ain't want to be athletic, nothing.
Hey, but look, if you 6'7" in the 9th grade, coach gonna be in your face every day. Hey, tell your mama to drop you off over here.
But I'm trying to be a neurophysicist.
That coach gonna be in your face all day, every day.
I'm just saying. I look at and you do got the guys that use sports to get their education, so I get that. You know, but
shout out Jalen Hurts for getting his master's.
Him and the young brother from Ohio State, they both got him. The quarterback.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but shout out to them brothers.
Yeah, went back and got their degrees.
Went back and got their degrees. So, yeah,
I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. We waste time.
I agree. Give me what I need to excel in life.
And as far as the language, they made your phone now where you can go to anywhere you want to go, talking into your phone.
I be wanting to learn some other languages, though.
Go ahead.
I'm impressed when I see people that's fluid and that's bilingual or trilingual or whatever the case may be. And that's why I respect the people that come here and they speak broken English. That means this is your second language. I'm not finna talk to you crazy. This is your second language. I can't talk to you in your language, but you learn enough American or enough English for you to have this conversation with me. So that's just me.
I feel
you know, America, whatever, man. But man, we appreciate y'all coming through here. Today the fellas was heavy in the room. Melissa was the only woman to come up in there.
Man, she ain't come in
at the last second.
She writing cursive. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, man. Excuse me, I'm a little tired today.
It's all right.
Who y'all got for the fight tonight in the Lakers Denver game? I say Denver 3-0 tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Denver, and then in the fight, that's gonna be a tough one.
Well, too late, Shannon. That's a great point, but too late.
What's that? Honorary. Oh, yeah. Yeah, honorary degrees. That's a whole nother subject that we could talk about on the next show. So, again, we appreciate y'all following. Oh, Shannon shows up at the last second. Thank you for coming in late.
Yeah, who y'all got for the game? I ain't getting it all.
So, man, we gonna see y'all next week. We gonna be here doing our thing, having a good time, pushing it up. So, just be here. And we appreciate y'all. If you know anybody that like good conversation, send them our way. Soundproof Hunger Room, YouTube.
Hey, y'all, let's meet up at a restaurant in the next couple weeks and just sit down and eat.
Well, you know you got to put a date on that, folks.
Next couple, it's gonna be probably a Saturday.
You got to put a date on it, brother.
Next couple weeks.
a little roundabout talk conversation on camera.
We could just eat, have fun.
I don't like people like that.
Well, I mean, you ain't got. Hey, y'all, meet up with me. I ain't got time what he talking about.
Hey, man, we love y'all, man, and we definitely we need to get face to face. Enjoy each other's company. B, I appreciate you. You done hung out with us a couple of times.
Yeah.
Melissa done hung out with us a couple of times. We got a couple of people that's not in here today that's hung out with us, and they all tell you we have a good time. Orlando is still working on the volleyball game, so we'll get the details on that. We'll get that out there. And again, we appreciate y'all coming through, hanging out with us, and we're going to keep this thing going. We'll see y'all next week.
We out.